What's going on, guys? Saturday, what is it now? 12:43 Central. Haven't been up but 2 or 3 hours. Got about 4 hours sleep again. That's what I'm averaging, which is not cool. What's up, Eric? Tree Man, Clifford, what's going on? Martin, Brain of Brian. Appreciate it. Q Louds, Kenny Ski. Bunch more people into Discord. Another quick 24 or so maybe this morning, so appreciate that. Access, you can go to learncrypto.io to the Patreon tab at the top, or go to the top of my Twitter. We got it pinned up there. $30 a month. Might be raising that to 40 at some point, but not at the moment. So trying to keep it pretty reasonable. Obviously, everybody knows we've had good trades. That's why we're getting a lot of people over there. What's up, Cody? What's up, George from Texas? Nate, Josh. So I'm going to wait a second, get 100 in here to get started. What's up, Wendell? I'm going to go over a few charts. I've got the Bitcoin USD 5-minute in front of us. That's kind of what we've been looking at over in the Discord. What's up, TikTok? Mr. Pete. The Bourbon Dude. Bourbon Dude, I think you've been around for a while, haven't you? Plaza from Malaysia. Crypto 420, what's going on? We're bullish Bitcoin. We bought back in down here at 82.60. That was my buy, night before last, about 1:14 in the morning, I think it was. What's up, Randall? I had said the software had gotten oversold again. So that's our last buy. I told everybody to run stops kind of at their break evens, 82.60. I think we ran some 8200s. I got some at 8200. What's up, Hamad? Cameron Work, what's up? Crazy Greek Freak. There's Carrie. So yeah, friendly Bitcoin. Upside objectives, I mean, I don't play those upside objectives like that. I mean, I got to see how it transpires, see if volume comes in, etc. I do try to throw some Elliott Wave roadmaps on here, which would give us upside objectives. I mean, new highs, 10,000 plus is still an objective. So that'll be, that's what I'm looking for. So far, so good. EOS did go flat. We're going to talk about that. I sold some at 828, wanted to get it back on a dip. Got a little dip, didn't get it back yet. I was talking about a 5 waves up there. Try to sell into the news, but a lot of people in Discord bullish on it. Johnny Cool, who's not in here, I don't think, at the moment. What's up, Everin? We were out last night for a while with the club, relaxing. I got some big money there that I'm going after. News is in 5 hours. Exactly. I guess they're saying it's 6 o'clock Central Standard Time is the news. The charts still look good on EOS, so I guess it's probably okay. What's up, Outlaw? Raziel. So, again, short term, we had called, really I was going more or less with this count. We were kind of overlapping early. I was trying to call 5 waves up and buy an ABC. I was still kind of looking at that, so I left this up here so people know kind of what I'm thinking. This could still be the ABC I'm looking for. That wouldn't scare me. Be another chance to buy. Again, that's kind of what I've been showing short term. I don't want to be too detailed short term, because that's not really the best way to trade. I mean, we got to buy at 82.60. We got to stop at break even or 8,200, wherever. That's really what I want to focus on. But with the Discord new members, we're trying to teach a little bit of Elliott Wave, even though I do own WyckoffSMI.com. The original institute started by Mr. Wyckoff in 1931. But so I'm just giving people chances. I was doing this to try to get a place to add on for low risk. So something like this, I think, would be a low risk buy to add on. If you're looking to do that, or if you didn't buy, or if you're new to the channel, new to the show, looking to try to jump in somewhere here. Yes, I'm still holding Litecoin. So, and then as we continue a little bit higher, the count started looking a little bit more like this, because you can see this wave started looking a little more impulsive. It's impulsive on EOS. So, and then this here, we went to new high overnight. So this is kind of looking a triangle up here. Got a little bit of a Twitter argument yesterday that this wasn't a factual Elliott Wave pattern, but they come to find out later that it was. I've been doing Elliott Wave since 1980, so hard to catch me on much. Again, 95% of what I do is Wyckoff with a little bit of 5% of Elliott Wave thrown on top of it. I don't really try to do Elliott Wave patterns as we're trading as much as I do put it on top of, if I got to buy at 82.60 by Wyckoff, what Elliott Wave pattern would fit into that? So I'm leaning this morning more that we're in this pattern now. Then at the 5 waves up, we'll have an ABC back down. There's a lot of resistance right here because we're at the 0.618 retracement of this decline. The $1,000 break that we had, $1,100 break. That's what's going on here. But I think probably we'll run up, stop these people out of their shorts, and then have an ABC pullback. And that'll be another buy. If we go to a bigger time frame, you get away from the 5 and 15-minute charts, which is not really a good place to be setting for most people. Once again, for new people, there's kind of the buys we've had on the way up with the software and a couple Elliott Wave buys. We've had no real sells. We've thrown in some short-term sells up here at the highs, which you can't see because I got a lot of crap on there. Those are just short-term sells trying to get cute because our last buy was at the 8,000 and then one we just had at 82.60. So, and then again, if you throw Elliott Wave on top of that, let's try to do that. You can see I've had the roadmap all along here and it's worked so far. This is a big wave 4, which means we're going to 36,000 would be my guess. We've done a 1, 2, then this all subdivided out to a 3, 4, and now we're working on the wave 5 up. Inside of there, if we go and look at it a little bit closer, zoom in on it, and you can see here, we called this triangle live as it happened. 1 up, this 2 got a little deep, but didn't hurt anything. Now we're trying to put ourselves back together to try to get this wave 3. So it'll take a little bit longer than I show here. But hopefully that's what we're doing, running up to around 10,000. Now if we peter out here, stop us out at 8200, 8260, then you're going to have to bring in some bearish counts. The bearish counts are this here. So this would have been an A, and we're going to work on our B, then come down to let's say 7,200, and still working on that big white wave 4 that I've been discussing. So instead of it ending over here, this triangle that we showed earlier, it's actually going to be a bigger triangle. That's a possibility. And then this would be much more bearish. It looks something like that. That means we're going to go down and test 6,800 or so. I don't think that's in the cards. I'm still bullish. So I still think we're working higher, keying off the 82.60 level. So hope everyone kind of gets a fill in for what I'm thinking. I try to buy a dip. If we go into the software, this is our software proprietary to us, to Wyckoff Institute. The OP is Optimism Pessimism Index, the Force Index Technometer. Technometer is kind of an RSI oversold, overbought index. It's based on intraday price and volume and time. You can see down here, we got a 35 reading on the technometer. Currently, we're 39. Most oversold we have been in quite a while. So that low is important. And then Bitcoin USDT, really no change. It's trading just a hair, really right at the same price on the technometer. So again, that still supports higher levels. Let me bring up a couple other. The chart that made us really bullish. This is what giving us the majority of our buy signals on the way up. Bitcoin USDT, 5-minute intraday with volume. You can see volume has been continuing down since really the wave 5. This is the wave 3 high that I mentioned. This was the first triangle. We could be building a bigger one, but since then volume has been in a downtrend while price holds. And then volume would have been oversold a day and a half ago, which gave us a buy signal. So hopefully we can dig out of here and get much more of the upside. But all we can do is use our stops in this position. All of our buys have worked this year, but got to be ready for possibly for it not to work. Quickly, in the same software on the stock side, I've showed GDX. I talked about in the YouTube show being long all along here. I talked about this close. I thought we would take out this resistance, so we got the big green bar jump on the short-term resistance. Still neutral on the technometer, so I think GDX is good to go still. We're long that for pro traders. TLT I've been long. Back at the levels back here at 119 and 120. I had said we'd blow through 126, which we've done. We're so overbought here at 57.51. I'm probably taking profits on that Monday morning. I took profits for pro traders. I'm still long for my mutual fund clients. But I'm going to roll out of that and look for some type of consolidation and maybe buy it again. Stocks, I have not done this weekend's free weekend review at wyckoffsmi.com. I've been bearish since the sell up here. We are coming down to 38 on the technometer. So Wyckoff Wave could stop the downtrend and bounce here. If stocks bounce, bonds will sell off. That's why I want to be out of TLT. Then let's go one more here on the stock side. If you join the Patreon, you're going to get all the crypto trades I give, and you're probably going to get quite a few of the stock trades I give. If I'm not too busy, I throw them in there just as an extra benefit. You can see here on SPY, we're also oversold. So I'm back to friendly stocks after being bearish for the last few weeks. If you do Elliott Wave, that could have been an A down. Let's talk about that just 1 second here. Let's bring back the SPY and go to a 9-month chart. I think probably this is some type of A down. We could bounce here for a couple weeks, then maybe see another sell-off. I've been saying stocks need to trade sideways. I was bullish at the bottom. We got to buy here, the exact day of the low. But I think we're still sideways before we really ignite to go higher. So let's go, let me see what else here. Let's go to EOS real quick. That's been the big one. We had mentioned down here the software was extremely, looked extremely good on EOS. Let's bring that up real quick. This was the daily EOS. Extremely oversold down here at these lows. You can see here we went to 47 on the way up. That is not overbought. And and we're setting at 41, so that would still support more upside on EOS USD, EOS USDT. Same thing, was oversold here, never got to overbought. Now we're at 43.6, which is neutral, which still should support higher prices. And here's the volume setup, EOS USDT. Volume hitting new lows while price holds higher. That's bullish. And EOS USD really is just following price. It didn't follow in the last rally, so maybe we're going to need some backing and filling here on EOS, but still looks pretty friendly. Tron's having a big day. I don't trade a lot of Tron. I've got some clients that own it in their PCG accounts. We do manage crypto assets for a 3% annual fee. You make us a trading API at the exchange of your choice. There's TRX. Glad my stop held there. We call this 5 waves up earlier, and then this was a 1-2, or this is a AB. You could maybe say this is a triangle ended here. So at higher levels, you might run into some trouble, which would mean if Bitcoin goes to 10,000 plus Tron, you could probably sell. But on Wyckoff, it did jump resistance. This is a jump across the creek, pull back to the creek. That's why I had to stop here a little bit below it. And now we've ignited again. So Tron, I would say, is higher. And we'll follow Bitcoin higher, if not lead, really. Lead is higher. Tron could be a joke, but I guess the best thing about it is just on some of those coins, just trade them then. Even if they're a joke, they could have some pretty big moves. Neo's been, haven't looked at Neo much recently. That is one that we've traded in the past. Let me, hold on a second. Where'd that thing go? I mean, there's Neo with not as good Wyckoff pattern here, but definitely held this triangle that we've been talking about the last week or so, and holding still higher. So I would think Neo could continue higher here. We got some good volume coming up. Volume fell off on this triangle, and then some good green bars here. So Neo, once again, I think could come live much more than it has recently. Litecoin, we've had numerous buys on. You can see these for the year. No real sells. On Elliott Wave counts, I can't really say. We had an Elliott Wave buy back here. We did call the low at 66, but I didn't really mark it as a buy. That was just, I thought this diagonal triangle was ending. I would have to say Litecoin is just going to lead, is going to follow Bitcoin higher. I kind of thought we'd had 5 ways up. This is a deep 2. And we're going to continue to put ourselves together. This looks like a triangle on Bitcoin short term. So either way, could get a run up here to 120, peter out again, give you another chance to buy, or a break here short term and get a chance to buy. So I think Litecoin's still going to lead us higher as long as Bitcoin holds that 8,200, 8,260 level. Minimum for PCG accounts was 10, went to 25. I'm really back at 10. So if you got 10,000 or more, definitely hit me up. Twitter or here or Wyckoff, T Butterfield at wyckoffsmi.com.
Show me the money.
Thank you, Dustin, for the $5. Appreciate it. There's my email you can use. You can hit me up on a lot of websites, wyckoffsmi.com. Look around there if you don't know much about Wyckoff. A lot of free information. What's up, Corey? LearnCrypto.io is our crypto website. Any PCG accounts in here, I sent an email out last night. I'm starting to use 3 commas on top of Coinigy. 3 commas has much better stop placement and orders and cool orders you can put in. So I'm also putting clients' accounts there so I can manage there as well. So do not delete the keys you've given me, but do another set. And some accounts I've lost access to when Binance deleted APIs. So if you're a PCG account, make sure we're ready to sell higher prices in Bitcoin here. The first time I've sold this year, hoping to get a sell somewhere up here and do a little bit of trading. But otherwise, I really have stayed long, and that's been the smart move. A lot of people think I'm not trading or watching the accounts, but I've sent out emails. I've been bullish. Trading in a bull market can let you miss a lot of it. So no, I didn't go fishing with Nick. He told me he caught like a 6.5 pounder, so I should have went fishing. I think he's with some guys from work or his boss. I'd have to show him up if I went. I do like to fish. Yeah, 3 commas. A website where you can add your APIs, and they've got stop orders that go to market. They've got trailing stops. You can do percent buys and sells. So it's just a lot of stuff going on. I had 2 hours sleep the night before, and I had 4 hours last night. So not sure how I can do that. I'm an 8-hour person sleep, but got too much going on again. So I got some people got me in front of some big money overseas. So excited about that. Appreciate that help if you're in here. So and then back to talks of a hedge fund for cryptos. So we shall see. Shout out to 300 people in here on a Saturday afternoon. What else? So take profit in bonds Monday morning if you didn't do it at Friday's close. I also manage stock accounts at Charles Schwab, most of the time at a 1 or 2% fee. XRP, someone's probably going to ask about. Same type of thing there. Let me go to, this is a chart I think that's marked up. Short term, we had the triangle. And then again, we had the 1-2. Hopefully working on another 1-2 and headed higher. That's obviously the best count. We're still long from lower levels. We had this ABC spring down here, and the software gave us a buy on the test, like it did on a lot of these coins, but because volume has headed down while price holds up, that meant somebody was accumulating. Wyckoff called it the composite man when he was alive, insiders, etc. So I think Ripple still looks higher. Once again, I think it matters. I don't know if Bitcoin collapses, whether these alts will dig in. I really think they're all moving together. So I think Bitcoin falling is going to hurt everything. I think BCH and all those, I think everything's still headed higher. So I would trail stops, BTT, Tron, all of those. Everything's starting to, some of them are starting to come alive. So let's look at a few more that we normally go over. BAT USD. That's still called trading range. Classic Wyckoff on the way up that we caught. Selling climax, spring test, sign of strength, jump up of the creek. So this could be reaccumulation, but that's been one I thought was sideways. BNB, we've been friendly still. That one still looks higher here short term. EOS we already went over. ICX down 2%. Another Wyckoff jumped the creek and a back up to it twice here. We would hope that would resolve still higher. It is a little bit slow. KMD staying at the highs. We like the looks of that. So it did run above $1.70, which I did not catch for a sell. Again, I'm trying to stay long some of these because you never know when they're going to explode. XRP you should have bought when I had the buy at 82.60. What, 36 hours ago or so, or buy a little dip here if you get it in the next few hours. I'm really particular when I buy and sell, so I'm long Ripple looking for higher prices. And again, guys, it's June 1st, so joining the Discord, you get a full month. You get all the past, any posts we've had, a lot of news, a lot of Nick talking about Palm Beach, stocks, you name it. So good value over there at 30. We're not raising the price this month. We might figure out something on down the road. What's up, Steve? But we're trying to build a big community like we've always done here on YouTube, Twitter, etc. So we're really trying to just continue to move forward. So the Discord, great community. I give buys and sells at the charged stocks cryptos area. Nick gives a lot of smaller cap trades, fundamentals. So that is really, I think, all I got. Again, short term, this could be the pattern after being long at 82.60. For some reason, TradingView is having an issue with prices on the side. Hold on a second. Yeah, because this is not 82.60 over. I'm not sure why that issue is. Let's go back to here. This would be more of my thoughts. The triangle actually could be ending right now as we speak. And then still a jab higher. Or this was an A. We're doing a triangle and we got one more jab down to maybe 8,400 support. If we start trading 83, would worry me. 82.60 and 8,200 is going to start getting me stopped out of my longs at break even. Small losses, whatever. Would really would love it to hold here, go to new highs. My Elliott Wave, that would give us 5 waves up. That'd make me more comfortable that my Wyckoff buy is good once again. And for the new people, on the Wyckoff buys we've caught all year long with no sells yet on the board. Only short term playing around with the Elliott Wave theory and some 5-minute charts. So no real sell as of yet. Break down through 80, 200, 8,000 would make me think still that there's more downside, but I don't think there's major downside still yet. I did see a poll ran by Bitcoin Schmidtcoin. I think he had 450 people respond. I think it was 6,700 or 9,200, and it was 65% 9,200, which bothers me. I mean, that's not, 70, 80, or 90, or I would be out. But I think I think a move higher will finally get everybody in. Then we'll put in some type of top. And that top will be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'll be a major first 5 waves up off the low, and then we would have a correction. I'm still saying above 10,000. Then that correction would be probably down to 6,800. Just my guess right here, right now. How do I manage stop loss, trailing placement? I mean, most of my stop loss, it's a little bit tougher here on the last trade because if it did spike down to like 8,000, I mean, for now, I'm going to use a stop loss somewhat. I don't want to see new lows here, so I'm going to use it at my entry from 36 hours ago or slightly below it at 8,200. I don't use you know, I'd use some Fibonacci maybe, etc., but mostly I use my stop placement based on Wyckoff and looking at the intraday charts. A lot of times the intraday chart, let's bring up Bitcoin USDT 5-minute. If volume makes a big low and turns up, then I'll probably use the same price low as a stop because volume basically, as you can see here, this is just on a 1-day 5-minute. You can see the triangle I just showed you. Volume kind of looks a little triangular as well. So we're doing that little fourth wave. If we go to the 1 month, that's way too short term. We'll go to the 1 month. Bourbon Dude, you joined Discord. Easiest would be go to my Twitter. It's pinned to the top, or go to learncrypto.io and click Patreon link at the top. That'll get you to Patreon. You do the $30, pay the $30 for the first month. You'll get asked every month if you want to pay again. And once you do that, then we send you a link to get you into the Discord. Right, noob, you got to join Patreon to get to the Discord. So here is, I showed this earlier, intraday 5-minute price volume on Bitcoin USDT. So I would maybe, because here we had continued downtrend while price ran a triangle. That is why we called that, I call the triangle starting clear back here, because we had price go up, volume didn't. You can see that here. That was a divergence. That told me that was a wave 3 ending. I thought that we wouldn't let anybody get Bitcoin cheap, so we would do a triangle. Then as we came down here and hit new lows while price held, that was obvious a triangle. And that's why I gave a buy at 8,000 right as we exploded out of there. So the key is whether, 5 waves up. There's no way to count 5 waves up by Elliott Wave from here. But again, I don't use Elliott Wave for my main trading. But if you're using Elliott Wave, you can't say the rally is over because this just doesn't count well. So to count it correctly, you would say this is 1, 2. Got a little deep here, but that's going to happen on Bitcoin. Volume goes to another new low while price holds up. And so all this looks explosive for higher Bitcoin. But I think I got to use that 8260 stop, 8200 to protect myself in case I'm wrong, especially if you're overextended, especially for newer people in Discord looking for trades. So what's up, Taj? But these continued new lows while price holds, looks like people are still selling while price is holding up. At some point, going to new highs while volume doesn't support it will be an issue, but I don't think we're there yet. I think it'll be on the 5th wave by Elliott Wave standards, and we're just getting started. But breaking 82, 8260 will start to bring in that maybe I've counted this whole thing wrong, even though I've been so right on the way up. This is the Elliott Wave count that bothers me. If you've been on the channel, I called all these moves. I haven't changed anything. These were, we had the first 5 waves up for the 1. Then we had ABC, ABC, and then we had 5 waves down overlapping for the 2. And I called this a triangle here, so I want to leave it that way. This I was looking kind of as the triangle as well, so I want to leave it that way. Triangles come in 4th wave positions. So that's why if you see this is 1, 2, 3, then a triangle 4, then a 5 wave extended wave, which happens in commodities a lot. Then another triangle and another 4th wave position, and then another blow off in the 5th wave. And then you can go to a new high on a regular flat, which is what we did. So I warned about having, this is why I had stops at 87.60 and 85.50 off that high at 9100, because I thought if we failed up here, it could be a problem. So we did get stopped out on those longs with profits. But again, re-entered at 82.60 and hoping that this isn't the count. But if more people were bullish here, I'd go with this count. But I do like the count since this is the way I labeled it on the way up. And this count looks pretty. 1, 2, the 3, 4 looks pretty good relationship in size. Fifth wave expands. So we get some type of news to break us down to 6,800 again. Bring in the bearish talk, the below 3,100 coming, etc. And then we ignite the big rally. So that's the worry here if we start breaking down. But I think I'm not long-term bearish on Bitcoin now. There's too much good happening in the space with Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, etc. Too many institutions are coming. So I still think we're higher. Bad, I said, I thought was a little more sideways. I've been saying that. Bat was perfect, Wyckoff all the way up. Preliminary support, selling climax, automatic rally, secondary test is stopping action. That means the previous move has stopped. You go sideways while volume contracts, which it did. You'll spring to shake everybody out, which is what it did. A quick recovery, test it, go to the top of the trading range, jump it, and then mark up. Had a buying climax up here, and it's been pretty weak since. This might be reaccumulation, but I think since it's so underperforming, I would guess maybe best case a move to 45 when Bitcoin ignites, and then this one maybe peters out again. Real quick, guys, I am a registered investment advisor. I'm going to run a quick disclaimer. Keep me out of trouble.
There is a high degree of risk involved in trading cryptocurrencies. Our thoughts and ideas are for entertainment purposes only. Please consult your personal advisor or do your own research. Past results are not indicative of future returns.
That was our famous pork blaster. I'm not sure if I'm going to be on for the EOS event. If I'm around, I probably will jump on here real quick. Could be interesting. You believe the secret group out of Japan is not positive? Because I talked about Japan's got like, what was it, a triple increase in accounts trading crypto. I think that's grandma and grandpa, mom and dad wanting to trade because they trade a lot of stocks there. I think they're going to come to cryptos. It's going to make my trading and my software more valuable and I think easier to trade. Yeah, that news, I mean, we're being told the news is way more friendlier than that. I'm not a real news trader, so I don't pay a lot of attention to it. Just try to watch the charts. I mean, there is a little more bearish. There's where we could be right now. That's probably the way I'm leaning. We shall see. What's up, Borgil? But I think that is all I got. Unless anybody got any more questions about Wyckoff or Elliott Wave or a random coin maybe. If you trade stocks, go to wyckoffsmi.com, sign up for the free weekend review if you want that. Just a quick free review on what I think. Been kind of bearish stocks. I gave the bond trade over there as well. Get some trades on individual stocks for free. Got a Pro Trader subscription. I lowered the price down to $40 with the free trial. So various little things. I don't really use any Elliott Wave over there because, again, I own Wyckoff SMI. I've used the Elliott Wave on cryptos more so because of the emotion of everybody trading, etc. We will look at IOTA because we talked about that chart trying to come alive. Go back to the 4-hour. So you can see here we had jumped the resistance and pulled back to it. And that was during that triangle that we had. Those are the type of setups that you want to look for. This is just a triangle on a lot of charts, but for here it was a backup to a creek that had been jumped. This is a spring through this previous low. Sprung down, got everybody bearish, brought it right back up. Low volume test. Give you a couple chances to buy here. I would think IOTA goes higher. That's nice accumulation setup. Selling climax over here with big red bar volume. ONT USD. I don't look at a lot of BTC pairs. I think that's clouding the water way too much. ONT a little bit tougher to analyze. Chart looking well. I think it'll get above the $1.70. This is a triangle low here, $1.27 or so. I wouldn't want to see taken out, and really for now, I don't want to see what, $1.37 taken out. I'd trail a stop there probably if you're overextended. DAG. All right, I see DAG BTC, which again I don't like going over, but I will. I don't like the downtrend that it's been in with the markets doing much better. Again, this is versus Bitcoin, so you'd expect that to a little bit. I guess I'd wait for the downtrend line to be taken out before I got too aggressive here. But I'd rather see a DAG USD chart. Thanks, Carrie. Yeah, I can't say much. The software wouldn't bring up the DAG and Elliott Wave. Not much here in volume is so damn small there, so can't give you much help. Hopefully, we're still working on the software. Hopefully, we can get it to work for these smaller coins. It's working for the big names. Here's BCD, someone asked about. Interesting. I'd say that one jumped the creek and backing up to it. I'd have no problem being along that one. Wouldn't want to see an overlap at $1.18 on a no name I don't know anything about. But I'd probably buy here with a $1.18 stop. Do your own research. Ethereum, I didn't really go over too much here. We've had, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buys here. I keep saying I never add this on Twitter, etc. I gave another buy around 186. So we've had the various buys on the way up. You can see the Elliott Wave markings that I think make sense. We got a little deeper the other day on the 1-2. I think Ethereum still goes to 320 or so, as long as what is like 250 holds. What's up, Borger? On the second tier Patreon, I do throw charts in there. I do throw a few things in there. It won't be as exciting. I mean, the $30 is a ton of information. $10 is a little bit of information. I think mostly people will be way happier with the 30, especially with all the interaction with the other people. I'm sure we're probably around 215 people in there now, still growing quickly. Ray Sloth, hit me up on Twitter or email me, and I'll give you a Bitcoin address. You can't pay with cryptos, then Carrie will bill you every month, tell you owe us again. tbutterfield@wyckoffsmi.com or tbutterfield@theblackbaggroup.com. That's my investment firm. GVT USD. Do not like it staying down here. I mean, again, I'm bullish the market, so I'd give it a chance to pop. I guess I would trail a stop. I wouldn't want to see 302. Really wouldn't want to see 324 giveaway. I'd probably be long with a 324 stop. Hope that it'll pop here. Appreciate it, Crypto Miser. Yeah, I think 30 bucks is good value, unbelievable value. So I'd agree with that. RBN USDT. I think we talked about this one the other day. I mean, unbelievably quiet down here at the lows. Really came alive. 50% retracements on the first rally. Close to 50 again here, so and firming up. So I'd be long that. I'd probably be long that and just trail a stop at 0.0586 or so. Back here, don't let it overlap. That one looks like it's going to explode through the top. Crypto Miser, glad to hear that you did that TLT trade. I saw you post that. So yeah, I mean, that was a big home run. I think most people didn't have the patience for it. That's the thing. The big trades, you got to be able to try to hit some of those. I've been 50% long in the mutual fund strategy I manage. Those are the ones that pay for the small losers and the scratches, etc. Came very close to my stop here, but really just a 50% retracement. We got oversold again. I didn't add on there. You can see that was an easy add-on, ABC pullback. But on my mutual fund, I was already extremely long. So, but there again, software gave you a whole nother buy. And gave you another buy down here where I circled.
Show me the money.
So, two new places to add on. You just wouldn't have wanted to take them any sells as we ignited. But really, the sells just came up here. And I've told people, do not sell the 50 technometer on an uptrend. And with a little bit of Elliott Wave, it was showing higher. So, but we are definitely overextended. Most overextended, I don't know, it's in years and years. So I'm going to liquidate. And one reason is because I think stocks are going to finally bottom, which I've been bearish on. We got an oversold technometer, 38. And stocks rally, bonds decline. Normal relationship. O&T I just went over, but you threw a little bit of money there, so let me, instead of telling you to go back, let me look at O&T again. O&T USD. Nice retracements continuing higher. I would be long that. and trail the stop. I would think we'll blow through $1.70. DGB has been a slow performer here, a little disappointing. So I haven't said or done anything with it really. You would think it'd get a life here and try to get still more going. Hold on, that was DGD. DGB USD. Again, I'd be long, but I'd want some strength to show up here when some of these other coins pop, or I'd probably cut and run on that thing. What's up, Todd? Ollie? Don't know. Sorry, but I know you might be talking about the bargain outlet holdings. I know that had a big article in Forbes, I believe it was, 3 weeks ago, or Bloomberg.
Show me the money.
If you're talking about Ollie on the stock side, let me know because I'll add that to my software. You spelled it with an E though, so I don't know what. I'm going to add that anyway. That's been a strong performer. On the stock side, right, OLI. I will add that. Let me see. I'd rather have a look at it in my software. Well, I'm not sure why that thing is not coming up. That's why I want it in my software. Sorry, guys. If you don't mind, I'm going to add Ollie to my software. Levi, and then why don't you throw me an email at tbutterfield@wyckoffsmi.com, and I'll send you some updates from the stock software after I add those stocks into it. Now we got 464 in here, so I think because of that, I'm going to go over Bitcoin one more time. Our last buy that goes with these other buys from our Wyckoff software gave us a buy 36 hours ago down here. And again, I don't know why this trading view's got an issue. At 82.60, at 114, I think it was the other morning. I think we're doing a wave 5 up to get started. I do have stops at 8,200, 8,250. I think on a bigger picture, we came out of this triangle. We got really deep over here, but we're putting ourselves back together. So I think we're going to continue higher. 82, 82.50 gives away. I'm going to be worried about that. Short term, I'd buy a little break to 8,400 if you want to get cute. Or you could sell a rally to 87.50 or so if you want to get cute, try to get it back. Most people should have bought the 82.60 and stay long. I know EOS was trading 739, I think it was. I bought some there, but I sold it at 828. I pretty well did that live on the Discord. Bought some XRP, bought some Litecoin, Ethereum, etc. So any other buys and sells? If I do bring up this chart, short-term buys and sells, I've kind of given in Discord, but those are not major buys off our software like the 8,000 was and like the 82.60 was. These sells, I didn't like volume action, etc., so I tried to add a little value short-term, especially for people that want to trade short-term. Otherwise, we're waiting on our better risk-reward trades. One of my better sells was back here where I said you could do 100x if you wanted to for a move down to 7,000. We got that. So that's all. Appreciate everybody. Any big movement, if I'm still sitting in my office in St. Louis, I'll jump on. Maybe try to be here for the EOS. If we go to EOS short term, same thing. You got the triangle, you got the 1-2. I tried to show this as well. When I sold the 828, I thought maybe we had 5 waves up and we could have an ABC pullback and then ignite again. So my guess was 5 wave just extended. So you could have sold it still higher. And my thought would be that that's the ABC. Again, this is just trying to be cute because you should have bought 738 when I had to buy on Bitcoin, and you should just stay long, have a stop there. But some people really like to trade, so that would have been my next guess. If it's following Bitcoin, it still could be doing a triangle here, so it's going to explode right here, right now. If Bitcoin pulls back to 8,400, this thing could come back here and check this 785 or something. I probably would buy that. So I'm trading these coins more off what Bitcoin's doing probably. Shorting EOS after the news. That'd be, I've got balls of steel move. I can't play that sound bit, or I would. But obviously that could be a good trade, so I wouldn't talk you out of that. So hopefully a little help on EOS. So that's all I got, guys. I'm going to try to get out or get something to eat, take a break. We'll catch you again. Please subscribe. Go to Twitter, Wyckoff on Crypto. Go to our Discord. Appreciate it, Bamboo. We're here for the duration. We've had a huge year kicking ass, and we're going to keep kicking ass. So once again, I'm going to play the outro. Who is Wyckoff? So everyone gets a little bit better feel. He really is one of the titans of technical analysis. Did the study of volume and much more. That's why you see our OP charts and our proprietary indicators. So I'm going to run that and catch you next time. Peace.
Good afternoon. My name is Richard D. Wyckoff. Anyone who is interested in the stock, option, or commodity markets is most likely to find my life and teachings to be of great interest and value. I was born November 2nd, 1873. At the age of 15, I had my first job as a stock runner on Wall Street, and by age 25, I had opened my first brokerage firm. I was one of the pioneers in the study of the tape and included volume studies in all my market operations. This volume and its intraday studies is what set me apart from the rest of the market gurus. There was a point that my buy and sell following was so big that it became a powerful part of the daily market. It was at this time that I became known as one of the titans of technical analysis. But all along, my lifelong endeavor was to pass on my accumulated wisdom to others. With that in mind, in 1907, I created the magazine of Wall Street. At its height, the magazine of Wall Street had over 200,000 subscribers. That's over 200,000 investors who wanted my thoughts on the current market conditions and trends. Finally, in 1931, I decided to take all my knowledge that I had learned about the stock market and created the Richard E. Wyckoff course of stock market science and technique. I was able to create something that established a new standard of practice in the public stock market operations. I did not claim any monopoly of stock market knowledge, but up to that time, no one else seemed willing to be so frank in offering to the public the most intimate knowledge of the inner workings of the stock market. The good news is that even though I created the Wyckoff Stock Market course back in 1931, the course has been maintained and updated throughout the years and is available to you today. Over 90 years later, my course is still available for investors and traders that want to learn the secrets to the stock market and can be found right now at wyckoffsmi.com.